Well, a revolutionary retail campaign called Shop for Change has been launched as part of this year's International Women's Day to raise money for women and girls affected by domestic and/or sexual violence. Brands like Camilla, Ginger and Smart and Clarins will be tripling their impact to give back $3 from every online sale from March 8 to 10. The project has been launched by I Equal Change, which supports over 50 NGO projects in Australia and around the world. Joining me now live is founder of I Equal Change, Jeremy Meltzer. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Tell us about Shop for Change. How does it work?
Well, it's very simple. It's a destination for consumers to find and shop brands that give back from every sale. The retailers we're in partnership with give back $1 from every sale. But as you said, for Shop for Change, launching this International Women's Day, for 3 days, brands triple their impact to give back $3 from every online sale to help empower women and girls.
It's such a wonderful initiative. So just take us through it, though. It's just as simple as you shop as normal and the money that you're spending, it's going to an incredible cause.
I think the common factor currently is we're all aware that we're living in a really critical time and a fragile period. And so the figures show that 94% of all Australians would prefer to buy from a brand that gives back over one that doesn't. And so it's very simple. You just shop as usual, and on the thank you page post-purchase, a small platform appears where the brand gives back at least $1, in this case $3 for International Women's Day, and you get to choose where it goes as a consumer to one of 3 projects operating either in Australia or 13 other countries where our NGO partners work.
And take us through some of these projects.
Well, incredible projects, women's community shelters, providing shelter for women who are escaping domestic violence. There's projects helping girls receive a full education. The Australian Literacy and Numeracy Foundation is working to minimise illiteracy, which is incredibly high up in the rural and remote Australia. I just got back from Cambodia working with Hagar International, who do incredible work to end the trafficking of girls. So there are enormous systemic challenges which still prevent women and girls globally from realising their potential. And that's in the DNA of I Equal Change, why we launched this to create a new and sustainable funding stream for incredible projects, both in Australia and globally. And we're also now partnering with climate change initiatives like the World Wildlife Fund, who are also working to mitigate the extraordinary impacts of climate change, which we're already seeing, which actually have an interesting correlation with girls' education as well.
It's a very important cause, and the work that you do at I Equal Change. Tell us what inspired you in the first place you're the founder, of course. Tell us what inspired you to get involved.
I was living in Latin America in my early 20s and then in Miami, and almost every woman I spoke to had a story of violence or some form of abuse from her current or former partner. And I was really devastated by that. I left and came back to Australia feeling angry, upset, overwhelmed, not knowing how one person, especially a man, could possibly make an issue on what we now know to be one of the most ancient issues of our time. I mean, it is the most pervasive and systematic human rights abuse in the world, is violence against women. And so I wanted to make a difference and understood that I come from extraordinary privilege and wanted to use that to make change. So I guess you could say I've been a little stubborn over almost 8 years now, and we have a fantastic team who's very passionate and incredible retail partners, like you said, Camilla, Ginger and Smart, Nobody, Denim, Beckham Bridge, and over 400 brands now giving back from every sale. So for Australians, they simply need to go to I Equal Change. There's the directory of brands and shop as usual. Even if they go to the brand themselves, they will see that they give back from every sale. So it's all about full transparency and creating impact with every purchase.
Terrific. It sounds very straightforward and just makes such a big difference in the long term. Jeremy, what is your hope for this International Women's Day?
I hope we raise not only an incredible amount of funding for projects, but also awareness to the extent to which systemically women and girls still are held back in many important ways, both in Australia and around the world. I hope this day becomes redundant. I hope that one day boys and men are walking alongside women and girls as true allies, such that this day becomes redundant. We really shouldn't need this day anymore, because what we're doing is we're featuring the progress, but also the profound challenges that are still holding back women and girls all around the world. And so my hope is that, we're moving the needle slowly, and we've come a long way in Australia, but you only have to look at places like Afghanistan and many other countries around the world where girls are denied education, denied their rights, denied access to working in the public and private sector, and often unable to even leave their homes, that you can't possibly hope to have economies and countries that flourish if half the population are not empowered to provide the full range of their talents and skills.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well said. Just finally, tell us once again how people can find out more about Shop for Change.
iequalchange.com, the letter I, the word equalchange.com, and there's a full directory there, and you can actually see how much is being raised in real time. So it's really fantastic to see the impact and how much consumers are making that difference. And that's a destination for the full list of businesses.
Okay, founder of iequalchange, Jeremy Meltzer, lovely to speak with you. All the very best with the work you're doing. Thank you again for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.